My shit really that blurry? Oh my god. It's not just the fact that I have an Android camera, guys, I promise. I think there's like, I use grapeseed oil in my hair. I think there's some grapeseed oil on the front camera. I swear to God, I'm gonna switch to different phones soon, I promise, okay? Um, fuck. But hello, sorry in advance, I'm driving, but I just been having a lot on my heart recently, and I wanted to share. My car is loud. I apologize. If it's really that big of a problem to you, send me money to fix it. It's like $600-$700 to fix it, so send me money and I'll fix it. Okay. If you're not sending money, don't say shit about it. Thank you. But welcome back to my channel. So far, I've been liking the response I'm getting from, my peers and things of that nature on the video I did last week, with some of my friends. And yes, I just wanted to talk about today. Sorry, one of my coworkers actually asked me to talk about like how to love yourself better, like a self-love, like step-by-step type of thing. And I'm definitely down to do that. I'm 100% gonna do that soon, coming up. Not sure when, but it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Why does this thing always make my teeth look so yellow? Anyway. Anyway. Today's talk is going to be about unconditional love. If you looked at the title, you saw what that is. So let's talk about what unconditional love is, because that's one thing. Love is one of those topics that the market is oversaturated with people's definitions and ideas of what love is. But the thing is, most of those definitions aren't actually love. Like, what type of love are we talking about? Like, the ultimate love, the truest unconditional love. Like, and what does unconditional mean? Like, what does that mean? Like, because that's the thing, when we talk about loving somebody, oh, I'm in love with, he did this, that, and the third to me, but I love him. Oh, she said this, that, and the third, but that's my mom. I love her. Like, listen, all right. Unconditional love is like the best balance between love of self, love of others, and love of the collective. Like, it's merging that back into the collective. It's like you love yourself as much as you love other people, so you're not going to put yourself in a position where you end up in some shit because other people wanted you to, but at the same time, you're also not just gonna leave somebody like stranded out and like fucking, fucked up. It's funny, I just remembered, I think I said I was gonna put on makeup for the next video. That's not gonna happen. It's okay. I don't care. But unconditional love it's more than what we're used to seeing, It's like, all right, I can best relate this to Christian practices, not because I'm a Christian, but because my mother's a Christian. I grew up in Catholic school, Christian churches, things of that nature. So, the unconditional love of Christ, the unconditional love of God, agape love, like that type of definition. When we talk about things like that, it's saying that regardless of what you do, who you are, where you've been, where you come from, you can achieve, you can have love. Like, you can be loved, you can be blessed, you can be nourished, you can be nurtured in the love of the creator energy, because you are literally like their child. Like, you're loved so much by them. It doesn't matter what you do, what you say, you could be, but that's the thing, like, even when we talk about the Bible, even when we talk about God as unconditional love, it gets a little bit even more dicey, because even still, it's like, is there still love in hell? Like, I personally, for me right now where I'm at, I don't believe that hell exists. I think hell is on earth. Hell and heaven are what we create for ourselves, I feel. Just because, let's say, for example, reincarnation is a thing, and there is no place of heaven and hell, and you lived your entire life according to a set of rules in a book, in order to get to this place. However, throughout that entire journey, you were going through some shit. I feel like hell is when we submit to a reality that is lower than what we deserve. I feel like that's hell. So like for me personally, as a Pisces, as a creative, like hell would be working a 9-to-5 job for the rest of my life, completing maybe 2 or 3 college degrees and having student loans until the day I die, having maybe 2 kids and I can't even afford to put them through school. That's hell to me. That's actually like I want to like jump off a building. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, but I personally want no parts. I personally want no parts. I'm good. Thanks. But that's, you know, for other people, that's achievement. That's the height of achievement. That's, well, you know, not the height of achievement, but that's, to me, that's mediocrity. That's average. That's being mediocre and average is hell to me. Like, I don't, it's a state of mind. It's a state of being. So if that's the case, then heaven would be the same thing. So, you know, but if there is nothing but unconditional love in heaven and on earth, well, in God's eyes, well, not in God's eyes, but because, you know, there's fuck shit going on all the time, but do the beings that are in hell have God's unconditional love? Or like who goes to hell? Like that still has, because I know that there's always talking the church about repentance all the time, but like that's a real question I have. Like, does God love the people in hell? Does God unconditionally love the people in hell as well? Or, and they just didn't repent? Or like what's good? Like, I'm just trying to understand the logic behind that. But that's you know, that's getting it. If you have an idea of how that works, or if you have like an opinion on that, or like, you send this to your religion teacher or something, like, you know, have them comment down below, because I'm fascinated. I would love to know. You know, I went to Catholic school from, I was in, like, actually, ironically enough, I was in church between 1st grade to 7th grade, and then all 4 years of high school. So like, but I still don't know the answer to this question, and you know, but that's whatever. But unconditional love, as I've learned it, is regardless of who or what you say or who you are, like, there is love. Okay. But the problem with that is that there's, well, not the problem. It's like that the problem with that definition, I should say, is that what happens when problems come up? You know, like, what if you give someone unconditional love and then they take your, like, that's the thing. Unconditional love is so dynamic, because it's not just unconditional love of yourself. It's unconditional love of the people around you and yourself, all like wrapped up into one. So it's like, if you love yourself unconditionally, you're not going to put yourself in a situation where you're going to end up getting fucked over. You know, if you love yourself unconditionally, you're not going to knowingly put yourself in a situation where you're going to get completely fucked over. But when it comes to, I'm sorry, there's fucking cars that these people don't know how to drive sometimes. I'm live streaming and these people don't know how to drive. But unconditional love, okay. When I was talking about this on my Snapchat last night, all right, think about it like this. If you got somebody in your life, right? And they, such a dynamic topic, because I gotta touch on so much to get you guys up to speed with what I'm like, with what I'm thinking. Like, I'm sorry, if you follow astrology, my Mercury's in Aquarius and my moon is in Gemini and my sun's in Pisces. So like, you can see if you're wondering, my rising sign is Scorpio, if you couldn't tell. Pluto in the 1st house, gang gang. But used to you, there's no space for them in your life. And okay, it's an interesting, because it's got, like, it's true and it's not. Because here's the thing, for me personally, I'm someone who knows a lot of people. You know, I know more people than I think I do, than even I keep on as friends on Facebook or on Twitter, or it doesn't matter. Like, I know a lot of people, and there's not space for all of them in my life, but it's not because they don't serve a purpose for me. It's because that's just diverted. Like, you know, I went left and they went right. Or they went to college and finished college and did this, and I'm starting a podcast. Or, you know, I'm doing self-work, I'm doing shadow work, I'm doing healing for myself. Like, I'm healing my inner child, I'm doing generational healing. Like, I'm doing, like, cleansing of generational curses, and they're going to college. Like, you know, it's not a diss against anyone, because what both of us are doing are, what both groups are doing is still important, you know? Like, college is a complex topic for me, so I'm not going to get into it on this video today, but, you know, some people are doing what they're doing, you know? But if my path does not go in the same direction, I'm sorry, but it does not matter how much I love you. I'm not going to be up in your face. Like, I'm not about to be, like, right here, like, you're right next to me, buddy, like, yo, like, listen, when it comes to people, right? You know, we've heard that saying before, you know, there are people for a season, people for life, people, no. All right, here's the thing. Everything in life is temporary, okay? If you know anything about life, if you've been here for a day on this planet, all right, you can confirm that statement. You can't argue with that statement. Everything on this earth is temporary. Every state that everything is in on this earth is temporary. Even ice will melt back into water and will refreeze back into ice. Water itself will not even stay in the same form. So what makes you think anything else will? Everything has growing cycles. There's no stagnancy. There is only temporary. That's not a bad thing, okay? Don't look at that as a thing. Like, oh, you know, you think temp job, oh, that's so bad, like this, that, and the third, because, you know, the assignment's going to end. Listen, if that temp job is for 3 months and that assignment ends at the 3rd month and you hated that fucking place, it don't matter how well they fucking paid, because you may have only lasted 6 to 8 months over there in that bitch, and then you would have been jobless trying to find a new job. Temporary is not a bad thing, okay? That just means that you don't end up stuck in situations where you're not supposed to be in. Stop seeing it as a bad thing. Temporary is not a bad thing. Like, because the thing is, we as humans, like, we want permanence so bad, but we don't even know how to handle that most of the time. Like, because even if you look at couples who have had, like, have you ever gone into a house and it's like a time warp? Like, there's this couple that they've been married for like 40 some odd years, and they're living together in the house, and the house has looked the same for the last 23 years since the wife had her last child, and it's looked exactly the same for the last 23 years. How does that feel when you go in there? It doesn't feel like reality, right? It doesn't feel real. Like, everything has been in the same place, everything is set the same. Like, that does not feel real. That doesn't feel like, because if you look around us, that's not what reality around us is. Like, reality around us is fucking different than that. It's not you just having everything set in place the same way forever. Like, it's constant changes, constant evolution, constant growth. So we really need to start looking at it like that, like, and not as something that's a bad thing. Like, it's not bad for things to be temporary. It's not bad for, sorry, I'm looking at it's not bad for friendships to be temporary. It's not bad for romantic relationships to be temporary. It's not bad for any of this stuff to not last forever, because forever is a long ass time to commit to growing with somebody, especially if you don't know that they're going to grow in the same direction that you are. Like, I'm not just saying, like, listen, you could be, because I even know, like, there are people I was friends with in, like, middle school, and I was like, yes, we're gonna be friends forever. No, our lives have gone in completely different directions. There are people I know who are in high school who are engaged. There are people I met in high school who are married. There are people I met in middle school that are, like, have 2-3 kids now, like, all this shit. And I'm just like, okay. But I I can't follow you on your path because I'm not doing any of that. Like, I'm sorry, I'm 22 years old, I'm not getting married. I'm not getting married. Like, I'm not getting married right now. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me logically. It just, I have my whole life left ahead of me to be locked down in a marriage. I don't need that right now. It's not necessary. I don't have any kids, thank God. IUDs are a blessing sometimes. Shout out to Marina. But I don't have any kids. I don't have a husband, thankfully. Wow, thankfully. I'm not gonna say that. Anyway, I'm not gonna finish that statement because that's gonna get me in trouble. But with who? Don't ask. I'm so giggly today, guys. But it never made sense to me because to stay on the path with certain people because they're just going in a different direction. Like, I'm sorry, but me personally, I'm unfortunately, as of right now, where I am right now, I'm in the head state where I need to be around entrepreneurs. I need to be around people who are making their own money for themselves. I need to be around people who are not relying on, a college education, the system, things of that nature, like other things, like who are not relying on that to make their money, to make their mark on the world. I'm not relying on any of that. So when it comes to people I'm around, those are the people that I have the closest to me currently. And that's because we're on the same path right now. And the thing is, the people around me, the people closest to me right now, they also understand that once we reach a certain place, I'm constantly evolving. Pluto in the first house, I am constantly evolving. I'm constantly growing. I'm constantly changing. I'm constantly evolving. If they are not going in the same direction as me, I've already made it clear to them that, like, that's fine. There's no love lost. The love is still there just because that's how I am. When I love, it is unconditionally. The love is still there regardless of what you do. However, I'm gonna act accordingly. And that's one of the key parts about unconditional love that people don't realize. Like, you could love somebody unconditionally and be so compassionate and still act accordingly to what's in your highest good and what's best for you. And that's really what I wanted to touch on today. Like, unconditional love, like, listen, when I love somebody as a Pisces, and anybody who's a Pisces can relate to this, anybody who's a water sign can relate to this. Like, when I love somebody, it's not just surface level. It's when I say I love you, even if I say I love you to the stranger in the fucking grocery store, no, like, I really love you. Like, your energy, like, I really fucking love you. But don't rush me to say it though, because Venus and Aries, I don't know. I don't know. But fuck, I'm annoying today, aren't I? Is it so much? Because you know why? Because the new moon is in Gemini today. The new moon is in Gemini, and it's like in conjunct with my natal moon, so I'm just like a fucking irritating ass bitch today. But I mean, you love me, so you're watching it, right? Right. Unconditional love. And acting accordingly, yes. So when you love somebody unconditionally, right? But you also love yourself unconditionally, you can see their mistakes. You can see mistakes and flaws in a different light. If your love for someone is conditional, is based on obligation, off of what they do for you, it's not really even love, if you think about it. Because as soon as their need for you goes, so does the love. You can even see it as this, like, if somebody does things for you, or somebody shows you love or affection out of obligation, again, obligation that's not the same thing as love. Like, listen, I go to my job because I'm obligated to be there Monday through Friday between a certain set of time. I am not going there because I want to go there, okay? I'm going there because I'm obligated. Like, if I don't love the job, if I don't like it, if I'm sick, if I'm tired, I'm going to love it, but because I'm obligated to it. But here's the problem that people have forgotten to realize, because they're like, yes, that obligation, yes, you show me. Listen, problem is, obligation, after a while, especially if it's not what's in alignment with your highest good, will breed discontentment, that will breed issues, like that will create issues. Like, listen, that creates resentment. Because you know what? Listen, I've had some jobs where I had to be there every day at a certain time, and they're like, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do it this way, you got to do it that way. No, you can't do it this way, you can't do it that way, you got to do this. No, you need to do this, you need to be here. Yo, after like less than a year, I would leave the job because I'm like, yo, I'm tired of this shit. First of all, I'm doing the best job that I can. My work ethic, listen, don't come and clock my work ethic, okay? Because my work is done, and it's done right. If I bring you numbers, if I make sure your numbers are good, if I make sure the work is done properly, don't come at me about semantics, about how specifically you want certain things done. Because what's that going to do? That's going to make me look for a different job, because you clearly don't appreciate what work I'm actually putting in, you know? And the thing is, like, there's a line between asking people to be better and asking people to move off of their path and move closer to yours. And you want to be very mindful when you're asking people to do certain things for you, what you're asking for. That's a lesson in accountability as well. Like, if you're not accountable for the things that you're asking others for, like if you're not aware of the weight of the requirement of what you're asking from others, you might not want to ask them. Like, just not even to be funny, like 100%, like, you don't fucking ask them if you don't know how much that's going to take out of them, you know? Because you can ask something that you feel like is something simple, but because of the way somebody else's day is set up, like, that's the straw that breaks the camel's back. Like, and again, the thing is, that on whatever weight it is that they have, that does not mean that you're required to do whatever it is by yourself. Listen, know what people can do. Know what the people around you can do. Stop expecting things out of people that can't give them to you, you know? If I'm like, oh, this guy I'm seeing, this, that, and the third, he won't do this for me, he won't do that for me, he won't do this, he won't do that, but I'm gonna give him chance after chance. I'm gonna keep waiting. No, the fuck? No. We don't have time for that. We do not have time for that. So here's the thing. What can you do? What are you doing right now? I had a conversation with you about like what it is that I you know, what would work out better for me because this doesn't work for me at all. Okay. All right. We had that conversation. We talked about it. Cool. All right. Did you make any changes? No. How long has it been since that time frame? That's a personal thing you got to work out for yourself. Like, you work on your own time frame, not me. Like I said, Venus and Aries, I'm quick with the shits. Like, get it together or get out. Like, that's really me. Get it together or get the fuck out. But once it hits a certain point, you have to decide for yourself, okay, what do I want to do? Because if you're not happy with the situation that you put yourself in, because I'm sorry, people really don't know how to fucking drive. But if you're in a situation that you put yourself in, or you're in a situation that somebody else was just like, oh, and then you just went along with it, that's also putting yourself in a situation. Take accountability for what you've done. It's okay. Nobody's like holding the belt, holding the chancla, like, is that how you pronounce it? Nobody's holding the slide like, bitch, I'm gonna beat your ass with it. Like, it's okay to make mistakes. Like, forgive yourself for making fuck ups. Yo, it's not that bad. Like, unless you really fucked up and like murdered somebody accidentally, like, yo, it's not even that fucking bad. Like, you'll get over it. Like, you move on. Life is gonna be okay. Like, you're gonna be fine. It's fine. It's okay. So don't be so pressed to drop something and move on because you made a mistake. Don't be so pressed to like see a lesson in something and move on, to close a chapter and move on, because that is also unconditional love. Because you love yourself enough that you don't want to get to the point where you resent or you're hateful, you're demeaning to other people. Like, you love the other person enough where you don't want to get to the point where, like, listen, I know for me personally, when my anger reaches a certain point, I black out. Don't try me, ho. Don't try me, ho. That's how I feel, And when I make it very clear, like, listen, if you get me to a point where I'm that angry, I'm literally going to walk away from you. If we're in a car, I'm turning the music up. I'm notorious for that one. Listen, I am really notorious for that one. Like, listen, turn the music up, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear you right now. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. I just need a second. I need a second. I need a second. I need a second, because if you don't give me that second, the next thing that comes out of my mouth is gonna hurt your fucking feelings, and you're gonna walk home. Like, that's no. So that is also unconditional love, because it's like, listen, even though I'm mad at you, I'm not trying to hurt you. I don't want to make you feel hurt or, or unloved. I don't want to make you feel miserable. I don't want to make you feel fear. I don't want to make you feel any of these things. Like, I just want to show to you what it is that's going on with the situation. Let's have a conversation about it and move on. Like, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm not trying to hurt your pride. I'm not trying to do any of that. And I'm also not trying to put myself in a situation where I have to be the submissive person and just take that shit to the chin, because I'm not doing that shit anymore. Like, listen, we can talk it out like adults, or you can leave me the fuck alone. But that's with everything, though. But the fuck, people don't even know how to fucking park. Like, yo, that's not how you parallel park, dog. Anyway. But yeah, unconditional love, like, you have to remember, that's love of yourself too. It's really love of yourself. And you're remembering that other people are the same as you. Like, they're reflections of you. They're a mirror image of you. Like, would you hurt yourself in that way? Would you allow someone that you say that you love to hurt you in that way? Like, why do we want to be so, like, clap back, so combative, so, like, aggressive? Like, heal the hurt parts of you and stop trying to hurt other people. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of seeing the shit. I'm tired of hearing about the shit. I'm tired of thinking about it. I'm tired. I'm over it. I'm fucking over it. Like, get out of this hole. Like, everybody's toxic. Bitch, you're toxic too. Shut the fuck up. We're all toxic. We are all toxic because we have toxic chemicals in our food, okay? We're all toxic. Oh, come on. We're all toxic because at the end of the day, we learn how to love in toxic ways. There is not a single one of us that is not problematic or toxic in our own right on certain days, myself included. I'm not going to stand up here and say I have all the answers, because I don't, but the answers I do find, I'm more than willing to share, because we all need fucking help, and this collective healing that needs to get done is actually hurting me as a Pisces, because I'm very attached to the collective. So if y'all don't heal, I'm going to feel it, so it's a problem. I'm gonna need you to get your shit together. Okay? But yeah, like, heal the broken places. Like, whatever it is that you don't like about other people, examine yourself now. Examine yourself. Really sit down and examine yourself. Like, when did you do that? How often do you do that? Like, how much have you been doing that? And then once you do examine yourself, I'm gonna need you to take a deep breath, forgive yourself, and then start forgiving other people and walking in love. But here's the thing, walking in love does not mean you're a little bitch. I'm tired of hearing people think that too. I'm tired of it. I'm so over it. Because you can walk in love and be the biggest G on the fucking in the fucking school parking lot, bitch. Like, you can be the biggest G in the school parking lot and still walk in love, okay? It's just a matter of actually doing it, you know? You just gotta take it step by step, for one. And for two, you have to remember that you have to move accordingly. Like, if somebody's treating you like shit, I gotta go to my appointment soon. If somebody's treating you like shit, get out of that. Because you're allowing yourself to be in, as soon as you acknowledge something, as soon as you notice that you could have, because that's the thing with a victim, retire the phrase victim. I'm over the shit. I'm over it. Like, you're not, after a certain point in this day and age, in the age of Aquarius, Listen, nobody's a victim anymore. You made conscious choices to do or to not do something. We all make conscious choices. Listen, I'm not a victim of shit at this point. Like, I've been through some hell. If you want to ask about it, you can ask about it. I'll tell you about it. I don't give a fuck. But if I make a choice to turn left when I see oncoming traffic and I get hit, I am not a victim of the other person hitting my car. Do you see my face? I'm not. No, that was a choice. That was a choice. Like, you made choices to get to every single aspect, every single area of your life, whether it was conscious or not. So stop looking at life as anything other than a series of choices. Life is a fucking Sims game. So act like it. Act accordingly. Act accordingly. Because you know that shit. I'm like sweating. But you already know that shit. Like, I'm tired of saying it because I'm tired of seeing people act like everything in their life is out of control. First of all, you feel like your life is out of control because you're not in control of yourself. Gain some self-discipline, and then we can talk, okay? Okay. But with unconditional love, this is tough love for me right now, because anybody who knows me knows, like, I'm very nurturing, I'm very loving, I'm very much so all of that. But the thing is, when it comes to this stuff, I'm tired of being soft on people. No, hear it in real terms from somebody who's been through it. You're not a fucking victim. Stop playing that role for attention. Stop playing that role for other people. Stop playing that role even to yourself. Because what you're doing there is you're making it so that your abuser, the person who victimized you, is in control of you. You're putting them in direct control of your power, your personal energy, your emotional state, your mental state, your physical state. They're in complete control of you. And that's how, every time you claim victim, that's how you live your life. That's the choice that you make. That's the decision that you make. Nobody that's ever come and done anything to me, no matter how evil or how awful, has control over me, because I'm not a victim of that. Yes, that's something I went through. Yes, that was a phase of my life that I went through. Yes, I had to heal from that. Yes, I had to, yes, I had to come back from that. Yes, certain things still to this day, like, when I really think about them, they make me sick to my stomach that some, like, things like this actually happened to me. But at the end of the day, there is nobody in control of me. I'm the one who's in control of myself. Like, even when it comes to jobs, when it comes to boyfriends, when it comes to people, like, nobody is in control of me. I'm in control of myself. You can't take me outside of myself unless I let you. And if I let you, it's only because I felt that I needed to. Okay? But I'm not a victim. I'm not clear. That mentality of victim anymore. I don't claim that mentality. I don't claim that mental state, because it is a mental state. It's lowering yourself below because you feel you are easily controlled and not worthy. Listen, I am no longer easily controlled. I don't care. Listen, the only thing I'm unworthy of is a sucker punch in the face. Like, come on. Like, I'm worthy of all the blessings and riches that life has to offer, period. If you feel the same, move accordingly. But yeah, I have to go because I have a doctor's appointment. Because, healing and moving accordingly as I sip my Pepsi. Don't ask. Like I said, we're all problematic in our own ways. I'm really not problematic. I get them for free at work, so, and I'm not gonna go and eat lunch before I go to a doctor's appointment just because they're gonna weigh me, and I'm like, I'm not about to go and get weighed by this lady after I just had some fucking fries. I don't even want fries. That's so, what's crazy with all the, listen, if you're high-key spiritual, like, just vibe out with me for half a second. Have any of you been feeling like these crazy ass downloads that have been going on, like these DNA upgrades and shit? Like, I can't even smell meat anymore without being sick. Do you know how crazy that is? Like, I love bacon. I love bacon. I can't smell chicken. I can't smell bacon. Even mushrooms. Like, my mom made mushrooms with gravy and some rice yesterday. I opened the container. Yo, I almost threw up. And I'm just like, the fuck? And before you ask, I'm not pregnant. Please don't come in my comments asking me if I'm pregnant. I am fat, not pregnant. Overweight, not pregnant. I'm thick, not pregnant. Listen, the only thing I'm pregnant with is brilliant ideas, okay? But anyway, rotate device, okay. Anyway, I'm gonna go. As you can see, I'm sweating because it's hot in my fucking car and it's humid outside. But see, my teeth look lighter over here. This is what I mean, yo. This should be lying on me. That's okay though. It's still beautiful. All right, I'm gonna talk to you guys again soon. I have audio files of my podcast coming up. Um, it's on my friend's platform. I'm gonna link it when everything is set. Okay, I gotta go. Okay, love you. Bye.